In the first test case, we are checking for sunny day scenarios, which means we'll be passing input as without any error messages. We'll pass the right inputs, which means that we'll get no error messages. So when I try to run test case 1 and find out its coverage as a JUnit test, it takes a few seconds to run because we have added delay in it to help everyone follow it. We see we are adding inputs and there are no error messages and the test completes successfully. Similarly, in the second test case, we are testing for no inputs. So when we run this test case to find out the coverage, it will pass no inputs and simply click the login button. And we see the errors which are clearly visible and its coverage is complete. It's showing red because it's a different file, so every file will only show green for itself and all the other files they'll be red. Similarly, for test case 3, we are trying to find out different combination of error messages, and here when we try to run it, we are trying to pass a username which is not registered in the database, and we are only testing it with one input, which is the username, and we see the error message and achieve 100% coverage also. In the test case 4, we are testing for incorrect password validations. And once the web page opens, we can see when we pass incorrect password, we get an error message. So similarly, we have complete coverage here. Now, in test case 8, we are testing the entire user flow, right from login, searching, and paying for the parking spot. The automated test logins as a user, then searches for a parking spot, and then selects that spot to pay. So in this flow, we see we add the password, we go to request reservation, add the details, then select the available spot, and then enter payment details. And then finally, it takes us to the confirmation page and logs out, and we again have a complete coverage. In test case 9, we are testing for the search functionality of the manager role for any user. We register a new user every time and log in as that user. We can see the user type is manager, the role is manager, and we log in with the same credentials we just made the account with, and we are searching for a user and we are setting no show. For test case 10, we are testing the admin functionality for searching a user and changing its role. As with the previous test case, we are registering a new customer, which is an admin, and we can see it's admin in the role in the registration form, and we log in with that same credential, and then we search for a user to make changes to his role. The role is now changed, and we also get a complete coverage again. Now I'll hand over the presentation to Shuvrima for test cases 5, 6, and 7.
So in test cases 5, 6, and 7, we are going to test the registration validations. To start with Selenium test case 5, we will be changing the UTI ID and username. We'll test for the username error message and password error message and email error message. So we are running it now. Oh, so we are actually some miscommunication. This is test case number 6. Yeah, so to for clarification, we can do it again. So this is testing our registration validation, and here we are changing UTID, username, error message we are checking, and password error message and email error message. So as you can see, the username already exists in database, and we use assert to check for it, and we are getting full coverage. For TC7, we are going to be just clicking the registration button and checking all the validations. Mm-hmm. If you have any more questions, we can run it again.